Okay, I guess it's gonna start now. Yes, well, it's my first time streaming something in this format, so I will make mistakes, I guess, and we'll see. But I will take maybe a couple of minutes just to check everything is working. And I will start my story. Okay. Interesting experience, of course, but no chance to make mistakes. But let's start. Well, I am Alisa. Hey guys, it's Alisa. And the reason why I'm here is because I have friends with whom I want to share my some of my stuff which I find, but also, okay, let's start from the beginning. I have different, let me check if all views are working. For example, this one, yeah, we can see this, amazing. Okay, here, not here, here, I even started to draw a little bit because I wanted to build a plan for today. So, first of all, I will introduce myself because, like, who I am and what am I doing for people who is not my friend and not from my sketch group, and then why, I guess, and what I'm gonna tell today, what exactly. The format of this video is just speaking from my side and drink something. It's not alcohol, it's just refreshing water. You can also start drawing or like just chill and do something on the background, and I will tell you something about design. If we come back, I will start to speak about my background and who I am. I'm Alisa, as I said, and I worked as a product designer most of my career. UX, UI, product with different products. 5 years I worked in a digital agency, so I was just working with different platforms and products in an amazing team. And then I moved to Sweden, so now I'm living in Stockholm, and here I worked also as a product designer in CRM system. And most of my career I always was focused on just the part of design which is complex and more analytical and more like build tables, dashboards. That was always what I liked, and I didn't like to work with graphic so much. And something changed for the last few years, I think, because I started to be more interested in graphic, and that's how I started to work with posters with Piotr Bankov, but not only, because suddenly I got laid off in January. And that was time when I started to question myself, like, what is my career path, where I want to be, and do I actually want to be a product designer? And when I lived in Russia, I always felt like, yeah, definitely, I want to have huge salary. I wanted to work on products. I want to like change metrics, not change, but do something to change metrics to bring more money to the company. And but I don't have these feelings anymore. Sorry, I will change a little bit my view because I see the website from one of the designers we will discuss today, and it's like super bright. Okay, where I was, my background, yeah. And suddenly I just started to be more interested in how people feel graphic. It's just, I'm just interested in discussion between what is art, what is design, and how it can. First, okay, I read the book about just book from Rick Rubin. I have this book, and just I can recommend this book to everyone because it shows that really all of us, we are all artists, and art is actually really, you can access it super easily. You can just start to do whatever you want, and you don't need huge background to start exploring materials, and everything is like, there is no boundaries actually. And I really like this idea because in my brain it was always like, no, I need to explore how this works, and then I can start, and my result must be also super high so I can be competitive enough. But it doesn't make any sense actually if we think more. Also, I feel like I'm in rush, but I decided that I will not be in rush. I think our conversation today is gonna take 40 minutes plus minus 10. So because it's first time when I'm doing it, I have no idea how it's gonna be, how comfortable I will feel speaking with myself. Yeah. So I will come back to my background because I studied architecture in the university, but I didn't finish. There were different reasons why, and maybe later I will tell about them because it might be connected with what I'm gonna do in the future, because I'm thinking to study in art school, but I will tell about it a bit later. So during architecture university program, I fell in love with fonts, and it was just super interesting for me how letters can be really construction, because it's just small thing which we use. We are not focused on the letter A, we are focused on the word or on the text body. But in university I was like, wow, A has all this structure, all these rules. And after university I moved to St. Petersburg, and that's where I also touched a little bit font design industry in the school, and I met lots of amazing people, and just the environment was super cool. But I don't feel like I had huge result after this, but just some experience. So, and now after all these years in product design, almost 8, and some background with architecture, with fonts, with other graphic design, I think I'm gonna share. I'm not expert. I'm not a design critic or art critic. I don't have this huge knowledge about how to judge everything. I will just share my interpretation of everything. And I have sketch group. That's what important, because it inspired me to make this video. I wanted to give some every week in my sketch group, our sketch group. One person becomes responsible for references for the next week. So that's why you can like not only draw, but you also can try whatever you want and share the exercise with other people, so people can also try something new. And I wanted to prepare some tasks for posters, making posters, but we usually do in sketches. I can show what we're doing. And yeah, here we see my plan for today. My sketchbook, I started this year, and it's already like, now it's middle of the year almost, and I'm gonna finish it pretty soon. I started as just I wanted to explore how I feel doing new things, like materials, forms, if it's a pencil or something, if it's color pencils, if it's like something else, pastel, oil pastel. And then I had an idea to make this sketch group, and that's how I think I started to be more brave, because I tried more stuff like this and yeah, in the end it's, you know, sometimes you have this fear of making something like, I have no idea how to draw this, but when you start, the more you try it, the more you become brave, because your hand basically like, okay, I see something like this, and you're more brave with stylization, because you're like, okay, it doesn't matter how it works in real life, I just feel that it's something like this. And I think I really like it. I really like it, as you can see. I just, yeah. And I like when other people are responsible for it, because they are like, okay, today we're gonna do this, and I'm like, what, really? Okay. And it's something new which you probably would not think about. Anyway, let's come back to me. And that's why I'm here today, because I want to tell about posters. And we finished. I already told you about my background, what's going on now. No, actually, I didn't tell you what's going on now. Now I am applying for art school, and I can show you something about the schools. Okay. I applied to Skolan. It's this cute school which is located in amazing island, on an amazing island in Sweden. And I just went to the open doors days, and I fell in love, especially that period, because people really try lots of different things there, and environment seems really like, I don't know, I was just really inspired. And so I applied, and next week I will have interview with them on Swedish. It confused me a little bit, but I hope it's gonna be all right. And then I will find out if I will study there or not. But before, I applied to Konstfack, and that so it wasn't successful, because I didn't even have interview, so it means that my exercise which I prepared was not like better than others, I guess. And I guess it's really like, it's the place where it's really difficult to get place. And I don't know, I just wanted to study there, but instead, because I didn't have chance, I decided to go to Skolan, and I believe that it might be a preparation for Konstfack if my future will be like this, because I don't have something particular like as a goal, like I want to do this and that. I want to explore, and I definitely feel like, yeah, it's time to explore where I'm going. And that's it about now situation. So that's why I draw quite a lot, draw different stuff, and experiment with textile also. One of the exercise was to make insect with textile, and I liked it. Yeah. So that was about now. And why I'm speaking here? Because I want to share more stuff with my friends, And building community, I think it's really something which I miss, and something which I really want. And study in art school, maybe it's not only just explore stuff, materials, mediums, but also I believe that if I will be the part of this community, it's like it will bring me just lots of inspiration. And I don't know, I don't have some huge expectation, it's just some ideas. And definitely new tool, because the way I'm speaking about it is something new for me. And of course language, because to express myself in English, I believe it's gonna be even in Swedish, not in English, but I think I can share, like I can lead my social media using English, just because it will let me build community, bigger community. I don't know, we'll see. I don't have huge plans, just some feelings about it. Okay, and maybe I guess now it's gonna be the most interesting part for you. I hope, maybe not, maybe yes, we'll see. It's about posters and plakat, and we need to be here for it. Yes. Yep. Okay, I just started to make a name for presentation, and I was like, does it really matter? I started to like design something, design, and then I gave up and decided that it doesn't matter. Anyway, the story about plakat and poster. What actually plakat? What is poster? And I was always confused because like I just didn't know. Maybe someone told me at some point, but I just didn't save it in my brain. So that's why I was saying always like, I made plakat, I made poster, but now we will find out the difference. The difference is that plakat is something formal and it's like advertisement or something like this. And poster, it has more like feelings and more just informal context. Yeah, everything is written here. So next time when you will say something like this, you will know the difference. And me, I will know the difference. I just used Pinterest. Also, I believe that the topic of today's posters and designers connected with what? With our time, with questions which appears in our time, like AI. I'm not gonna speak a lot about AI. It's just let's take AI as a just huge change which is happening right now in the world. It affects companies, people, individuals. So that's why we will keep it in mind during this video. And also, I think I will always mention when I use AI for something. So it was just because next slide is going to be about like I checked on Pinterest how Google and Pinterest, how the results looks when we Google plakat or poster. So for plakat, I think this one is Google and this one is Pinterest. Almost, and this is posters. For my perspective, no difference. Like, I cannot say huge difference. Why this is poster? Why this is informal context? Why this is formal tone? I also can find something informal. So no idea. So these two products didn't give me a clue. Okay, so but when we look at posters and plakat and posters, we have something in mind how it looks, but it was not always like this. And these feelings we have now about posters and placards is connected with some particular designer. Again, from my perspective, and I'm not expert, but that's how I see it. Also, Neville Brody. It's English graphic designer. As you can see, when I made this presentation, I decided to make it like, let me move. Oi, that's not what I wanted to do. I guess, yeah, I just wanted to change my position. Okay. Let's come back to the structure. Neville Brody. When I was making this presentation, first feelings was like, okay, I will put everything using the grid, but I felt like a punk because Neville Brody is also a punk. What does it mean actually? You can see he's like 69 years old today. He is British graphic designer, and he said that he would say that he's typographist, and he made really cool, like his, as I remember, one of the first amazing work was this typeface FF Blur. It's the base for this font was Helvetic. I don't know how we call it in English, but in Russian it's Helvetica. And yeah, the approach was like this digital what? Digital version of something which didn't exist before. And this is not only the thing. I will share the link to his presentation also, because he opened up some topics which touched me really close, because sometimes I think, can designer be political or not? And today I believe, I don't know, maybe, of course it's not like super fresh question. Of course people always discuss it and said something about this. And my own opinion is that I don't think that designer, I think designer can be, can avoid to be political, but the result will still impact somehow the environment. So that's why probably not. And probably designers who are not political, it's just not officially political. Because designers always work with visual language. Why do we need visual language to speak about something? Even if it's something like not super political, but it's still giving some context, some feelings, and it's still something which designer wants to express, I think. You can think differently. Okay, let's come back to Neville Brody. And he started to, like, why punk? Because in 80s in UK there were like lots of punk bands, and he made covers for lots of them, like Yep. I'll show you them later. It was Massive Attack, for example, just because I love them, and it's first thing which jumped to my mind. But also, why you saw these two ladies here? Because I'm always upset when there are lots of men who changed the industry, who did a lot, and just no women. Question: why were all women? And that's why I decided, if I'm gonna tell about one famous, important man in industry, I will just explore what was happening in the same time around. And that's why I found these two ladies, April Grayman and Catherine McCoy, because they also brought really huge impact. So, and their age now, 78 and 79, maybe it doesn't matter, it's just why I decided to show it, because I wanted to like put just them together to see what was going on and which time it was. About all of them I will say a little bit, but later. So let's come back to Neville Brody, because he had lots of experiments with technologies, with previous technologies. That's what I really liked from his presentation, and it's like something which will stay in my brain for a while, maybe a long while. Is that every changes in technologies, new technologies brings, obviously, like when we speak about industrialization, it brought us huge changes. And now the time is definitely the same from my perspective. And that's why his strategy might be interesting in our time, because he said that with all new changes, we should step back and explore a little bit previous technologies, like touch it again. And also, I really like the idea to find the breaking point of new technologies. Maybe it really can be useful today. And yeah, here, this is album cover, but also experiments with when you will see some like face or human, and just experiment with form. But originally he's, as I said, he would say that he's a typographist. And a little bit more about changes is that time changed, and now we can work with fonts much quicker than before. Because before people really worked, and I heard a lot, but again, it didn't stay in my brain until like this week. He said that typography and fonts, it was the job which only elite can afford. But like, it definitely makes sense. And people needed to study super long time to be able to understand how does it work. And then people did everything manually. So it's not something when you need money and food right now, you will not be a font designer, definitely. And this is interesting. So here we go. Yeah, to the next slide. When I started to make posters, and maybe still, I feel really unsure what I should do. Because even when you remember rules about colors, about grids, you remember some approaches, different approaches, but you still need to decide what you gonna do. And from my perspective, I cannot, even when I see some rule, like for example, let's make some expression with just 4 basic forms, like constructivists, but I can't make anything before I know what they want to say. So it's like if there is no title, no goal, but it might change, especially now. And when I see this work, I feel like just experimenting with graphic, maybe it's just enough. And now sometimes I really like how the process when I'm working on posters or on even on drawings, when even if you don't have idea but your hand starts to work, it's a suddenly it aligns. And this is kind of magic because it's like completely unconscious thing. And even opposite for myself, when I have a plan and expectations, then I spend lots of time making something and I really don't like what I have as a result. So that's why art and design, it's something like more like therapy than as proper education like maths for me. I think that we should like unleash our, I don't know, unleash imagination. It sounds really boring, but unleash feelings, unleash something, I don't know, just to be unconscious with working on something visual. Anyway, let's go. Yeah, there are more works from Neville Brody. I have more of his thoughts which I wanted to share, which I even wrote on my, not in my diary, but somewhere. And maybe I can share because, yeah, he opens the topic about how important human touch. And I think it's just good for us to think about it. How important, when, especially now when we're working with AI, when we can generate any pictures we want, we can do it like basically in 5 minutes. And how important is like the part which actually we do, humans. And his motto, Neville Brody motto, is make an invisible visible and share that. And I think it's really make sense. Ho ho ho. Who am I? But still, making invisible visible, it reminds me something when I'm like, I don't know. It's like I was on meetup. I can say meetup, yeah. And I used to love meetups. I don't know why. I was thinking, oh, I am in this community. I'm between these people who's also working as product designers, and we're gonna do something amazing. So I always liked this meetups. But this time, the meetup called Mobile Brands 2026, and I felt like this is huge advertisement, expensive advertisement for the company, because they just invited all these people, the presentation itself and all these trends didn't give me anything, and people were speaking like thank you, it was actionable, and I was thinking about what is the action you're gonna take after this presentation, because it's like really doesn't make sense. The main idea of this event from my perspective was just to advertise stuff. But I was thinking that actually there are lots of topics, the situation in industry in general. Almost every company in Europe, not only in Europe, have lots of layoffs, and this like, so we don't speak about something which is really important, as I think, and we just keep spending money to discuss something which doesn't make sense actually, which only like increase revenue. And it upset me, and that's when I started also to think about make invisible visible. I was thinking that to make even some picture of dead body in the middle of this like event where people walking and speaking with each other like thank you, it was so actionable, thank you, it's amazing. And I felt like I would not be surprised if people just don't see this dead body between them. And I think it's kind of, maybe it's not, of course it's not like, it's just thoughts which I had. And yeah, let's go together. Let's go further. I even asked Josh. Josh is my partner, and I asked him like how to pronounce it, but I don't think I learned. So that's why legitimization of digital graphic design. Why we have it? Because that's how we came back to April Grayman. She played huge role in legitimization of digital graphic design. When computer came and people were like, whoa, is it what people just playing with it, or people do code, or people do what? And it was also not for all people, it was just for some people who could afford it. And then when people started to afford it, then so the time was also like uncertain, and people were like, what are we gonna do with it? And she was basically one of the first people who started to use computer for graphic design. And I will show you how her website looks. So when I said in the beginning that something bright will jumps in front of me, I meant this website. And so this is basically her website. This week I was inspired by her posters, and I made my own, which use almost the same colors like her. But one of the most popular work of her is Does It Make Sense? So it's this thing. And this work was made on the computer at the time when people were like not sure if it's okay or not. And we can see the combination of human body, lots of different things, and there are definitely places which we should explore more, but I don't know. I think that this makes sense, really. Maybe even leave where you can. The spiritual double. Also, I read that April Grayman, she like Neville Brody, but if we add to it more stuff, more psychedelic. I don't know how to pronounce it, but if we bring more nature, more body, more like more stuff in it like this, then it's gonna be her. And also some typography things, maybe exhibitions, public art, posters. Maybe we can see posters here. Yeah, we see posters here. Also, maybe it's important to think about what was happening at the same time in the world. She's American. Neville Brody was in UK, and what happened in Russia that time? I will not touch all the world, just countries with which I'm connected. And in Russia during 80s, everything were really difficult. I mean, no punks. At least they were closed. The country was closed from international design. So that's why we were like in our own space. And I will not touch it today at all. I love what she has done. it's still something like experiments with forms. But yesterday I will show you like Pinterest thing. Pinterest thing. Not this one. I love this one. So this poster inspired me yesterday. I don't know. I was just thinking that it's super beautiful. I like colors. I like everything about this. I don't know. It's just amazing and pleasant to watch, to look at it. Okay, let's come back to not this. Yeah. And I will check time. Oh, yeah, we should finish soon. So the big thing which April Grayman made is legitimization of digital graphic design. So you can explore more. And again I'm doing this mess. Sorry. I am not giving any big information about Neville Brody, April Grayman, and Catherine McCoy, because I believe that you all can use, like, we are living in era of data, so you can just easily open Google and find out more details and check all facts about them. I am just giving you some thoughts and inspiration. So, and I didn't mention Catherine yet. One of the most innovative program in American design education. So, and that's the place where we're speaking about Catherine McCoy, because she also started around the same time when Neville Brody and April Grayman, and she made lots of interesting experiments with fonts, and she made her own, not own, but she was one of the people who made this innovative program in American design education. And I can also show some of her works. Here. It feels more like constructivism, but it's still, we can see how she's playing with letters. I think it's beautiful. And just if you want to meditate for a while on graphic design, you can easily Josh wrote me perfect pronunciation. Thank you. You're the only person who's watching it, I guess. For now. Yeah. Well, let's finish my story, because I showed you. Let me check if I showed you everything. Neville, April, Catherine, artists, designers, poster, placard. Yes, I think I told you everything for today. And I will share the link for Neville Brody's presentation, because it was just super interesting for me. So I invite you to watch it also. And so, who knows, maybe we will see each other again at some point. I will make more video like this. So thank you that you stayed with me. I prepared the drink and I didn't even drink it. So I believe that the more I do, the more natural it feels, the more comfortable I feel, and maybe I will just drink and tell you some funny stories. Today in Stockholm, the weather is really warm, and it's time for Stockholm's marathon. So, and we are living near the city center, and people running around, people running everywhere basically, because it's marathon. But yeah, so all day, lots of people running around, and it's quite hot, as I said. And my dog will be really happy if we will go and swim. And I guess now we're gonna go and do this. Okay, thank you that you watched it. If you watched, and just if you want, you can let me know and join our sketch club. If you don't want, it's okay. If you don't want to draw at all, it's okay. If you want to give me something, it's also very welcome. And enjoy your art process, and see you, and bye.